The bookstore between us. In the heart of an old city stood a little bookstore, the kind that smelled like memories and whispered stories through its wooden shelves. It had no neon signs, no website, no card machine, just a rusty bell above the door and a world within. Every Sunday, Rhea came here, always at 10 a.m., always to the poetry section. She wasn't searching for anything in this particular. Maybe just a feeling she hadn't felt in a while. One rainy Sunday, she reached a little early as she pulled out her favorite poetry collection. A folded post-it note fluttered out. It read, "To the one who finds this. Have you ever read a poem that felt like it knew you before you knew yourself? No name, no signature." She smiled, folded it, and slipped it into her diary. The next week, another note. Ralph once said, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going." Isn't that terrifyingly beautiful? Week after week, the notes kept appearing. Sometimes poetic, sometimes sad, sometimes just a question left in the wind. Rhea didn't know who was leaving them, but she began to write back. She scribbled a reply and slipped it behind the same book. Yes and yes. Also, I think the smell of old pages is better than most perfumes. Do you agree? They never met, never saw each other, but their hearts were unfolding, line by line, note by note. She began to wake up looking forward to Sundays. Her world, once quiet and grey, was now full of wonder. Even her poems returned, blooming like unforgotten flowers. One note simply said, "Do you ever wish someone would read your silence and still stay?" She held that one a little longer, and then one Sunday, nothing. No note, no reply. The book stood still, empty. Rhea waited a week, then two. She even came back on weekdays, nothing. The silence was louder than the city. She realized she didn't just miss the nose, she missed him, whoever he was, whoever he might have been. On the fourth week, Rhea found a note again, not in the poetry section, but slipped behind a book on solitude. It said, "I'm leaving the city next week, but I didn't want to go without trying. If you are the one who's been replying, meet me at the Bookstore Cafe this Sunday, 10:15 a.m. I'll be wearing a grey sweater and holding Neruda." Her heart raced. 10:15, a few minutes later than her usual visit. He had always arrived before her. He had been there all along. That Sunday, she walked into the bookstore, her hands trembling, and there he was, grey sweater, Neruda in hand, nervous smile. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. The kind of silence they both knew how to read. No words, just the beginning of a new poem, one they would write together. Some stories don't begin with hello. They begin with a whisper between pages. In a bookstore between us.